Welcome to my home gym. Today, I want to show you how I put this gym together, what I started with, how you can put your own home gym together. We're going to talk about things from the most basic supplies, like what do you really need, bare minimum to get started, and how to add on from there depending on your goals and how much money you're interested in spending and how much space you have. So come on in. Let's start back here in the main part of my gym. So this main part of our gym is basically a spare bedroom. It was used before as a craft room of some sort. There's a lot of closet space, which is really helpful for a home gym because it's where I store my equipment. So you can see over in this closet is where I have all of my dumbbells and other assorted gym equipment to keep it out of the way. And then from this angle, you can see where I store my barbells and my rack, my power rack. And then in the other room there, we'll talk about my cable machine as well. So before I talk about all my really cool equipment, let's talk about something super unsexy, and that is flooring. The flooring in my gym is horse stall mats. We got these at the Tractor Supply store. These are really thick and absorbent. They're fantastic for protecting your equipment. You don't want to be like, smashing your weight plates down on something hard. We, weirdly enough, I don't know if you can see over here in the corner, my floor under this is tile. I don't know what the people before us were thinking, but whatever your flooring is, you want to look for something that you can use to protect your flooring, protect your equipment, and absorb sound. And these horse stall mats are fantastic at that. So we have 6 mats in our gym. They're each 4x6 and they were $45 a piece. They are kind of unwieldy to move. You're going to need several people to move them. Once they're down, they're solid. I love this flooring. So when you're first putting together your home gym, the number one thing you're going to want to think about is dumbbells. So, I talked about flooring. You don't actually have to set aside a whole other room and get special flooring. I'm showing that because I know a lot of people do want to do that. But you could use a corner of your bedroom, a corner of your living room, whatever it is you would like to start working out at home. Number one thing you're going to want to get is dumbbells. So you can see I have a large variety. We have 50s all the way down to back in the corner here. I've got like little 2-pound ones you can use for physical therapy type stuff and that kind of stuff. So we've got all kinds of dumbbells. You can see I don't have a nice matching set of dumbbells. Not everything matches here. And that's because I've put this together over years. And a really great thing for you to think about if cost is a factor, which, for most people it is, right? I got a lot of my equipment free or secondhand. This entire rack that this is sitting on, a neighbor gave to me. Many of these other dumbbells, I bought secondhand. We have a store called Play It Again Sports. It's a secondhand sports store, and everything is deeply discounted. So look for stores like that near you. Craigslist is also a really good option. I'm going to show you what I bought on Craigslist and how much I got that here in just a minute. But let's talk about dumbbells first. You want to make sure you get dumbbells that are heavy enough. Just going up to 20 pounds, like look, this is a 20-pound dumbbell. Yes, I'm speaking to you ladies. You need more than 20 and 25-pound dumbbells. You need the lighter ones. There's lots of upper body work you're going to use lighter dumbbells for. You are going to need 5s, maybe even something lighter than 5s. You're going to need 8s and 10s and 12s and all of those things. But you are going to need more than a 20 or 25-pound dumbbell. So get them. So I have up to 50 pounds here. I'm going to show you what I do to make my weights stretch more. I don't just have these, and this is a really great tip. I have all of these plates here, which are magnets. Bought these on Amazon. These are from a company called PLATEMATES, and I've got 2 different weights here. So these guys are 1 1/4 pound, and they literally just magnetize to the weight. So here, this is a 17.5-pound dumbbell. I add this on. That adds an extra 1 1/4 pound. You could do 1 on each side, so it really can make your weight set stretch. It can also help as you get to the top end of your set and you just don't want to keep buying more and more and more. They get expensive. So these guys are 2.5 pounds. Again, they magnetize on. So you add 1 on each end, you've added another 5 pounds to your weight. So after a set of dumbbells, the next thing I would suggest you get for a home gym is a bench. So you're going to see 2 kinds here in my gym. This is just a flat type. These are run about $80 to $100. This is an adjustable bench. So you can adjust whether it's straight up, whether it's on a slight angle, or all the way flat. These are a little more pricey. You can get these 120, 150 plus. It depends on the type. I will say they're worth the money. To have an adjustable bench, even though it's a little bit more money, there's just much more you can do, and it is worth it. It is something I would suggest, spending your money on an adjustable bench versus a flat bench. And again, really look for secondhand deals on these pieces of equipment to get them cheaper, no matter which one you get. A good set of bands is the next thing I would suggest you get for your home gym. This is the set I like. You can see they are different thicknesses. So we have a really thick one, then this purple one is like a medium thickness, a little bit lighter, and then the lightest. So this set I get on Amazon. It's called WOD, W-O-D, WOD Fitters. They're $79.99. You don't have to get this brand, but I would suggest that you get a variety of thicknesses because you can use them for different things. And I'll show you now some of the things you can use bands for. You hear me talking about being able to do chin-ups all the time and how to go about programming those. And one of the things that you will really need to be able to get your first chin-up and do more reps of chin-ups is to have some kind of band assistance. And these bands are fabulous for that. And of course, then you're gonna need a chin-up bar as well. This piece of equipment that I'll tell you more about later has a chin-up bar. But before I had these equipment, I bought just one of these over-the-door chin-up bars. You can put them in any door where there's a door frame, and these run about $69, $69, $79 for these. Get one even if you don't have a goal to get chin-ups and you have no intention of doing a chin-up. You might change your mind, first of all, and second of all, you'll be able to do other exercises to work your back muscles in a similar way. So you can use that rack that I just showed you, that pull-up bar. You can tie a band around it just like I just did. And then from here, you could do varieties of pull downs that you won't be using to pull up on, but you still need it to secure these bands. So a pull-up bar is definitely a must in my book. While we're on the subject of bands, I'm gonna show you some of my other bands that I really like to use. Here in my little storage cubby, I just got this at like Target. It's a really great place to have all the little things you're gonna need in your gym. So this is my favorite loop band. So you can use these, put them over your knees, under your knees, around your ankles. You can do lateral banded walks. You can do forward and back monster walks. There's lots of things you can do. You can do banded hip thrusts. You could do banded squats. So this is the Mark Bell Slingshot. I'll pop the price up here for this. Love this one. The fabric is so much better than the stretchy plastic ones. I'm gonna show you some of those as well. So I have these in a multi-pack, and I just got these at like the local sporting goods store, and they're fine. There's nothing wrong with these. If you want to go out and buy like a 3 or 4 pack of these, you might need to like double or triple up with them sometimes to get the same resistance as you would from this. And they tend to roll and bunch on my legs, and I don't really like that and pinch. In any case, having something along the lines of a loop band like this is great. Moving on in that vein, a stepper like this. And I don't mean that you can be doing like aerobics, like step aerobics like Jane Fonda. I use this for a lot of things. The key thing I use it for is doing hip thrusts. It is a great height, and it's adjustable depending on how tall or short you are, to be able to sit in front of and do hip thrusts. This is a perfect height for that. Typically a standard bench, like this bench or the flat utility bench I showed you, they're a little too high and they're not in an optimal position. So one of these is great for that. It's also good for doing step ups. Really like using it for that. You can use it to put your foot on to do Bulgarian split squats. So it's good for a lot of things. They're a little pricier than I remembered. I bought this one again at that Play It Again sports place, and it was not that much money. I looked on Amazon, and it's pricier than I would have guessed. So the step itself with just 2 of the risers, that's not like the basics tap how it's sold, is $100, which doesn't sound so bad, but to get higher than just these 2 steps, and I don't know that I would use it much with just 2 steps, so you're gonna need to buy more of these risers, and they come sold in sets of 2, and each 2 is $25. So I have 6, so that's, that's an extra $75. So we're talking $175 for this whole setup. I do use it a lot, so I do think it's worth it to have one of those. Okay, so let me show you some of the other things I have around the gym that I wouldn't consider like must-haves as you're first setting up. What I've just shown you now, I'd say would fall in the category of must-haves for just getting started. Let's move on and see all the other cool stuff I have though. One other piece of home gym equipment that is not very high in cost and very versatile is a TRX suspension system. So getting one of these for your home is fantastic. I use this regularly here in my home gym. You just need something sturdy to hang it on to. So I want to tell you about this rack actually. This is a good lesson in getting things inexpensively. I gotta tell you, most of what you're seeing here on this rack, I don't use. I don't use almost any of these things. I've literally never used this. I used to use the low cable that was down there. The cables, there's a lap pull down up here I used to use. The cables got really sticky and no matter how much oil I would put on them, they just didn't work well. So I stopped using that and I bought this cable machine I'll show you in the other room. If you're going to want to back squat, if you're gonna want to do any kind of barbell training, getting a rack is a great idea. You don't need something big like I have here. This one we bought on Craigslist and I'll tell you the price and what came with it. We got this for $900. It came with this whole like combo setup. Like I said, lap pull down, low cable. Oh, there's a Smith. There's a Smith machine here. The thing I use this for most is inverted rows. So you know what an inverted row is, like this. Those, I use it a lot for that. When I used to train people here in my home gym, the thing it probably got used the most for was working on hand elevated push-ups because you can adjust it little by little, getting lower. My daughter uses it for that now, currently training her hand elevated push-ups. You don't need to go looking for a Smith machine for your home gym. I like that I have one, but it really just came a part of this big combo set. The combo set also came with my bench, the incline bench. It came with a lot of those dumbbells you saw on that rack, and it came with a ton of these weight plates, more of these weight plates than not, and it came with this small curl barbell. So look for deals like that on Craigslist or whatever your version of that is, basically a resale online local site. You can find really great deals. I'll tell you about the barbells that I have here. I have 3 here. I have 2 more in the closet, one of which I'll show you. So this top one, you can see it's very short. This is a youth training barbell. I bought this one for my daughter because she wanted to train with me. It's only 15 pounds, so it's light, and you can see it's shorter compared to the other barbells. So she uses that one. The next barbell you see here is not something you're gonna need at home. Frankly, I didn't need it, but just like some ladies like to buy themselves fancy shoes, I bought myself this really nice bar. This is a deadlift bar. It's longer and it's thinner than a traditional barbell. You can see how much more it sticks out. It was $800. Like I said, it was a splurge. I like to deadlift, and so I bought it. This one is the bar that I use to squat and bench press with. This would be a great investment for you. This is a Texas Power Bar. Really nice barbell, $269. So that's not that expensive, and you can use it for all of your lifts. You can use it for squat, bench, and deadlift. So that's this barbell. Okay, I want to show you one more barbell I own. So this is known as a hex bar or a trap bar. You can see from the shape. You stand inside of this to lift it. It is a great bar to get started with deadlifting on. And there's lots of other things you can do with it as well. So this is certainly a great thing to have in any home gym. I'll show you what it looks like to use one of these. While I'm showing you how to use this trap bar, I'm going to show you something else that I think would be a great investment. These are called bumper plates. They're rubber, okay? They're rubber. These are 10-pound bumper plates, and I'm going to tell you what they're useful for. When you first start lifting, when you want to deadlift, you won't be able to lift a 45-pound plate. But you want to have a plate that you're using that is the same diameter as a 45-pound plate so that you can get into an optimal position for pulling from the floor. If you don't have bumper plates, what you'll need to do is use the smaller diameter plates, like 10-pound plate or a 25-pound plate, and elevate it somehow. And that can get tricky, so it's not rolling off, or do you even have 2 things that are the same size that you can use to elevate it? And so a great plan for, instead of doing that, is buying bumper plates. These are only 10 pounds, so you'd be able to lift them, and they still raise the bar to the same height as a 45-pound plate. So these are about $30 a piece for these 10-pound bumper plates. So I think it's a great investment to get a set of bumper plates. So this is how you would use a trap bar. You would literally stand inside of it. And you can check on my YouTube channel here for videos of how to trap bar deadlift. All the how-tos. So while I'm talking about loading up a barbell, I'm gonna show you the clips that I have. These make me wanna murder myself. I don't even know why I've kept them. We literally don't use them. I kept them just for this video maybe. I don't like these. They're a pain in the butt to get off and on of bars, and depending where you're at a gym. So my husband bought extra sets of these. He takes these when he goes to a gym. He takes these with him, and I use these here in my home gym. They're just so much easier than fooling around with those kind of clips. You can buy these on Amazon. I wanna say they're 15 bucks. I'll put the right price up for sure if they're not 15 bucks. They just make loading your bar way, way easier than fooling around with this nonsense. And then before I show you my cable machine, which is where we're heading next, I just want to show you some other things. They're not like, hey, you have to have these, but they're things that I use. This little guy, this is called a landmine, and you can do so many exercises using this attachment. I'll show you in a minute how you actually use it, but you can do, with this, you can do exercises for, gosh, almost every part of your body. You can do Romanian deadlifts, you can do single leg deadlifts, you can do squats, you can do lunges, you can do rows, you can do overhead presses. You can work so much of your body in all kinds of ways using a landmine, and I'm gonna show you how to use this and what on earth this does. You take this and insert it into a stack of weight plates, just like that. And then you attach your barbell in through the other end of the sleeve. Now, you don't have to have an attachment like this to do landmine exercises. You can literally take your barbell and shove it in the corner of a room to do these. I feel like it's easier to do with the attachment. There is a newer version of this attachment I have seen that has just a weighted ball on the end, so you don't even have to do the part where you stick it into a stack of plates like this. I cannot find what it's called nor where to buy it. So if you can find that would be an amazing thing to have. I use this one. I bought this one on Amazon. So this is how you can use this. You can take your barbell and now you can do things like presses. You can do rows, squats. You can do deadlifts. And so imagine all the possibilities. You can weight this. You will just put your weight plates here so you can get much heavier with these moves than maybe your dumbbells would allow. Okay, if we look further back in my closet, these guys are here and I love them and they're important. Though this is called a squat sponge, I've never used it to squat a day in my life. Putting something this big and squishy on your back does not lend itself towards feeling very stable with the bar on your back. It's kind of like balancing there on like a pillow. I use this to hip thrust. Put this on my lap for hip thrusting. I bought an even better one though. This was my original one that I bought, and I bought this one. And the only thing that makes this better are these little black straps. These little black straps, you actually can Velcro them into place, which means this will not pop off. I have had hundreds of pounds on my lap hip thrusting, and this thing like twists and pops off, and then it does no good. The whole point is this is gonna help it feel like your pelvis isn't gonna get so terribly bruised. So squat sponge, or this one is called a Fit Viva. I bought both of these on Amazon, and you only need one of them. I thought I'd take a peek through my drawers and find some more items to show you that might be relevant to you, and I have a few that I wanna show you. This is my ACUMOBILITY ball. This is great for feeling really good. I use this, I sit on it to help with glute and hip pain. I put it on a wall because it has this kind of tacky substance, and it's not gonna just like stick, it doesn't like suction, but you can put it there and then lift up like so, and then really shove it into, oh gosh, that feels so good. Right there into that part of my teres and my lat. Along the same vein, this guy, this is called a THERACANE, and I friggin' love it. If you get a lot of tension in your traps, you take it and that little ball, you sit it on there and then you pull. It really feels good. Ladies, if you pee when you deadlift, you need those in your gym. Gotta have those. Okay, so this is something you might not have heard of before. These are called VERSAGRIPS. I started using these years ago. I haven't used them in a long time because I haven't needed them. I was having elbow pain from tendonitis and my chiropractor suggested these for me, and I have clients who use these. So you put them on like this, you lay your hand here, you wrap this around, Velcro it through like that, okay? And so it's hanging off and there's this flap here. And then from there, I'm just gonna use a really light weight to demonstrate. You typically wouldn't need to use this with such a light weight, but here, you put the weight there, you wrap this around like that, and now you don't have to grip hardly at all. Can you see I'm not even gripping it? And it's staying there. You should still grip it a little. It's not safe to not grip it at all. The point is, if you're having pain in your elbow and the gripping part is what's really aggravating that pain, you can still do rows, you can still do Romanian deadlifts, you can still do things where you have to grip weight without actually having to grip it hard. This does a lot of the gripping part for you, and you can have a really light grip on that. There. They're also good for the same reason if you're doing like pull downs, like you can wrap this around the lat pull down machine for the same reason, and you're just not having to grip as hard. It's really useful for that. So these are called VERSAGRIPS. What else is in here? What else is in here? A hairbrush. This is in case you constantly make videos in your gym while you're in the middle of working out and you don't want to look like you have bad head. Let's head out back into the front part of my gym. I've taken to calling it the annex. And I'll show you my cable machine and tell you some of my future plans for expanding my gym. So you'll notice this half of the room is still the gym, and this half of the room is the guest bedroom. So my kids have a lot of people spend the night. I have family come into town. What I would love to do, this is a hugely exciting plan for me, and I haven't figured out when we're gonna do it. I wanna turn this into a Murphy bed. Do you know what a Murphy bed is? The beds that go back up into the wall. So that's what my plan is for that. So I have all of this open space here because there are 3 of us training down here at a time these days, and it would be great to just have some more open space. So I really want to turn that into a Murphy bed and open that space up so we still have the capability of it being a guest room, but that 99% of the time it's just more gym space for us. Something else super important that's over here, I should absolutely show you this. These guys, these are our training logs. This is mine. This is my daughter's. I don't know if you saw over there next to the rack of dumbbells, there were 2 other notebooks in there that were other years. I have multiple years. These are all of my training logs. This is from March of last year. This is every training plan I've had. All the workouts I've done, every set, every rep since March of last year. I'll just keep going until this book gets filled up, and then I'll get another one. This is my daughter's. She just started because she's been training with me for 3 weeks. Keeping good records is important, and finding a system for yourself to do that, clutch. And then this cable rack is the newest addition to my home gym. We got this last fall. This was a birthday present for me. I will say, there's a lot I like about it. There's some things that could be better. I still think it's the choice I would make, and I'm going to tell you what the options are and why I chose this. So this is the VALOR Fitness cable machine. It was around $550 on Amazon. I chose this one because any of the ones, now this one you can see back here, I have to self-load this. So I have to put weights on here, okay? This doesn't come with a weight stack. The ones that come with a weight stack are much more expensive. 1,000 plus, easy, several thousand, 1,000, 2,000 more dollars. And I probably should have done it thinking back, considering how much I use this gym. Now that we're in quarantine, I have everybody in my house using this gym. This does not run as smoothly. So when you are pulling on this, the smoothness is not gonna move at all now because I only have 5 pounds in there. So I took some weights off to show you some other things. It doesn't move as smoothly as other cable machines I've used that have the weight stack. So that's the one bad thing about it. The one really good thing about it is that's not bad for a price, right? Like $500, and it works well. I get all the things I need done here. So it has a lat pull down, which I was really missing with my other set. Once my lat pull down didn't work, I was bummed I didn't have a lat pull down. So it has a lat pull down, and this is the best part, are these 2 adjustable cables. So I have 2, so I can do things with more than one hand, and these adjust to so many different heights, so I can use them for all things. All kinds of things. I can put them, here and do face pulls. I can put them all the way up to the top and do triceps. I can put them all the way down at the bottom and do cable pull-throughs. There's just so many options because I can do them single-handed, I can use different levels, I can do two hands, so I really like that a lot. It doesn't bother me that I have to load my own plates. Most of the exercises I use this for are not things that I'm using hundreds of pounds for, and so I don't care that I have to throw some plates on there. That part of it is not a problem. The smoothness with which the cables run, slight problem, but it still works. It gets the job done. If you don't want to spend upwards of $1,000, $2,000, you know, 500, it wasn't straight 500, it was under 6, but it was more than 5. I'll put the price up here. I'll look into it and pop the price up here. It was worth it, and I'm so thrilled that I have it. I use it more workouts than I don't. It also has a really great chin-up bar that's very stable, and I use it for that a lot as well. I could see in the camera behind me one more thing I didn't talk about at all that I have in my gym, and that's these boxes. These are plyo boxes. I don't use them for plyo boxes. I'm not jumping. I'm not doing jumps onto plyo boxes and off of plyo boxes at all. But I do use them for lots of things. I use this to sit here and do my lat pull down. I use this to do high step ups. I have 4 of these. You may have noticed at the table I have my exercise logbooks, my training logbook. Those are boxes. I have jumped up onto those a time or two just to see if I could do it many years ago. I don't really use those high ones for anything other than a table. I use this one. I use this guy a lot. I will put this one on the ground, not on top of this one, and then stack a plate on it, and it's the perfect height for me to do barbell back squats too. I use it to do Bulgarian split squats. I use it to elevate my foot there. I do low step ups on this. I'll do high step ups on this one. So this is a great piece of equipment to have as well. I don't feel the need to have those big tall ones. They were sold in a set, so I don't know how you can find just the smaller ones, but it's definitely something to look into. So I hope this gym tour has been interesting to you and has been useful to you as you come up with ideas for how you're gonna put together your own home gym. People are always so shocked to find out that this is my house. I don't know where people think I am, but I'll get messages all the time when people are like, wait, that's in your house? Yes, this is my house. It's just a corner of my basement, and I love it. There are definitely some advantages to training at home, and you don't have to spend a fortune. Clearly, I've invested quite a bit of money down here. You don't need to invest nearly as much as I did. And frankly, I've done it all pretty much on a budget because like I said, I got so many things for free and so many things secondhand. There have been things that I paid a lot of money for, deadlift bar, but those aren't necessarily things you need. You can really put together a great home gym, not super expensive, so you have everything you need. No excuse not to train. If you liked this video, if you found this helpful, if you found this informative, please subscribe to my channel, hit that like button. I'll be back here next week. More great stuff coming.